What is going on, everyone? I'm Sir James from Gamerfuzion.com, and for this video I'm here to give you my review on Wargame Airland Battle. Wargame Airland Battle allows you to take command of all military resources of the Cold War era, from tanks to planes, for a total of 150 planes, strengthening the playable arsenal of the game. From fighters to bombers to electronic warfare planes, 4 new nations and their vehicles join the original 8 from the first installment, making it a total of over 750 vehicles and combat units rendered in realistic detail. Wargame Airland Battle also brings an authenticity to the next level thanks to a new weapon system, better handling fire effects, and the new urban combat interface allowing your battles inside cities. Starting off with the graphics, how are the graphics in Wargame? And I gotta say, the graphics are actually really nice. In the options section, you do have a wide variety of different graphical options to choose from, and the details of the different units, the vehicles, tanks, choppers, and so forth, I think they've done a really nice job in terms of the detail. Also, too, one of the things I really like is the actual world map detail itself, from the different places on the battlefield that you could be in. You could be in in a map where it involves a lot of cities. You could be in another one where it involves a lot of sea areas, to where you have to go over bridges just to get to the main battle zone and so forth. And I like the fact that when you're actually looking in the world map, it's kind of like looking at one of those Google maps where you're looking at from a distance, where you're seeing all the icons, and then you're able to use the mouse wheel to scroll up to actually see the battlefield take, which is a really nice addition. So overall, I would say the graphics are really nice for this style game. Now let me go ahead and talk about the overall gameplay in Wargame. What happens is that in the beginning of the round, it's more like a preparation where you begin by building up your military. What happens is that on the top left corner you have this ticket amount, and that ticket amount will determine of how many units you're able to place. For example, your ticket amount may be 300 something, around 500, 1,000, 2,000, or even 3,000, and each of the different units in terms of what you're able to build is going to be different each time. For example, a tank may be 50 tickets, while a chopper may be 40 tickets, or an infantry may be 11 tickets, depending on what kind of infantry unit you're choosing for. Or you could be choosing a special task force, which could be 20 tickets. So each unit has their certain amount of tickets you're able to use, and every time you select that unit, it's going to drop down in terms of the ticket, and you're able to place anywhere on the battlefield. So during the whole preparation phase, you're able to pick whatever units you want, as long as you have the amount of tickets available, and you're able to place it anywhere in your territory before the beginning round, just only in your territory, nowhere else on the map. And then after you're already set up for the actual game, you go ahead and click begin battle, and that's when the actual battle commences, where you're able to use your units, move your units about to capture territories. Now it could be depending on what kind of round you play. Maybe you're playing a round where the whole key is domination, where it's pretty much eliminating all of your enemy forces. Or this is a mode that I like. It's kind of like a King of the Hill thing, where you're basically controlling this one territory while the enemy has all the territories around it, and you have to basically hold that point until you reach a certain amount of points. The other one's kind of like a domination thing, where you have to get a certain amount of points to become victorious and so forth, which is a really nice fun addition. In the actual campaign, you're taking place in all kinds of different campaign levels. What I like about it in terms of the actual overhead map on the campaign, it kind of reminds me of a giant risk board, which I think is a really nice touch, and you have all kinds of different abilities, and depending on what areas you conquer in the actual campaign will determine the outcome of the next battle, which is a really nice feature as well. So providing all kinds of different strategies, like for example, maybe you're controlling all the territories around the sea area, which is going to give you a lot of advantages in terms of sea units such as ships and so forth, which is really nice, because like I said, this game has a lot of different units, because you have a lot of different factions, each have their own special units, and you have a variety of infantry, jets, tanks, basically any and every type of vehicle you could think of in terms of military wise. It is in this game, which is pretty much outstanding. But the overall gameplay is really nice. Like I said, you're just building up your army, you're going and attacking different places depending on what kind of mode you're playing. That's the type of mode you could be competing in. Not only that, this game also features online gameplay, which I think is a really nice feature, which I'll touch up a little bit later in this review. As for the sound in Wargame is actually really nice. It actually brings out that battlefield feel to it in terms of the sound effects, which is really nice. You could have jets coming in doing an airstrike, and you could hear all the explosions going on. You could have choppers coming in for a gun run. You could have vehicles from the distance firing missiles, infantry with their machine guns, and even rockets and so forth, which is really nice. I like the fact in terms of how the sound works with the actual world map. Like for example, when you begin and you're scrolled out all the way on the world map, you're just seeing icons, but you're not hearing a lot of the action action that's going on. But if you scroll all the way in to zoom in with your units, you're going to start hearing the sound effect picked up. So the more you scroll in, the more of the sound effects you're going to be hearing, which is a really nice addition. Also too, the actual soundtrack in this game is a really nice addition as well. But the overall sound in this game is really nice. They actually do in terms of the units, justice, so it actually really does sound like a battlefield, which brings this game to life. As for the lifespan, what kind of lifespan do we see in a game like this? Is this something that's going to hold you over for a short amount of time, or is this game going to provide you with much more epic battles than it seems? I would have to say this game has a really good lifespan due to the fact it features multiplayer. The multiplayer for this game is a strong factor and the main factor why people keep coming back to this game. And not only that, the community behind this and supporting the game is huge as well. I would have to say in terms of the actual community, the community is really nice because for me, this is a type of game I've never played before, so I was completely new to this, and going into the community asking for help. There's a lot of nice people out there in terms of providing tips and even working to play with you and help you hone your skills to get better and kind of learn what the advantages and disadvantages are and so forth, and made a lot of new friends and actually got a team together, which is actually really cool. So the actual main lifespan for this game is the multiplayer. Not only that, this game has a 10v10 in terms of the multiplayer, and when you have 10v10, the battles are epic, especially when you go all the way out in search of the world map. Their screen is filtered with icons everywhere. It's crazy, just epic battles 24/7, and depending on how long the match, you may have a time limit, or you may have into like elimination, where it's basically it's down to the last unit. But overall, I would have to say this game has a really good lifespan thanks to the community behind it and its fantastic multiplayer. As for the innovative, did they bring anything new to the table, or is this stuff that we've already seen in past titles? Now, as I stated already, this is a type of game that I'm completely new to, that I've never played in my life. And as a new player coming into this game, I found it to be really enjoyable. At first confusing, but thanks to the strong community supporting and the fact that people are there to help new players such as myself, I found that really welcomed into the game, and the fact that I've made a lot of new friends and I've learned a lot more about the game. And of course, in terms of the innovative, in terms of their past title, from what I'm reading and so forth, there's been a lot of improvements, a lot of updates, and the fact that there's a lot more units to choose from in this game, I would say that says enough for itself. So overall, I'm going to go ahead and give Wargame a 9.5 out of 10. This game is really fun, probably one of the most interesting and maybe even one of the best real-time strategy games out there. Anyways, I'm Sir James from Gamerfuzion. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave that in the comment section down below. And remember, Gamerfuzion empowers your gaming.